Closed captioning for Innerlocs Out There is brought to you by Copper John. Innerlocs Out There begins in T-11. Coming up on this week's special episode of Innerlocs Out There.
Can you believe Innerlocs Out There has been on air for 10 seasons? But at his age and the conditions he's in, he couldn't go by himself. So that was one of my favorite hunts this year. We had a strange visitor hanging around the set.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
When I think of the best years of Innerlocs Out There, I say to myself, pinch me. Am I really living this dream? To hunt for a living and promote the great products we promote is not only humbling, but a blessing. This past year was one of our best seasons ever. It seems all the stars lined up for us, and we were able to produce some amazing episodes.
Can you believe Innerlocs Out There has been on air for 10 seasons? Not only do I want to thank the Sullivan family, makers of the Interlock Broadhead, for giving me literally a dream job. But I got to thank my sponsors, and probably the most important people to thank is you. Each week you tune in and watch us, and it makes our job so much better. The guys at Red Shutter Media that put these shows together do a great job, and they're so much fun to work with. This episode, we thought we'd do something totally different that we've never done. We're going to do a best of season 10. My buddy Mike Dickus from Mike's Archery last year at Jurassic comes to me and says, I drew a goat tag, and I don't know if I can go by myself. And I'm like, what do you mean you drew a goat tag? He's got a goat tag for a special area, but at his age and the conditions he's in, he couldn't go by himself. So that was one of my favorite hunts this year, actually getting to hunt mountain goats with our friend Mike Dickus from Mike's Archery.
I think we did it. May not be the biggest goat in the world, but it was quite a challenge for me. Yo!
One of my other favorite hunts this year, and it was kind of neat getting to go back to my roots and filming Mike, was our friend Aiden. Aiden was a 9-year-old boy at the time when I met him, who had cancer and was slowly dying. His dream was to have a hunting show. So I was able to jump back behind the camera and make him feel special and film him and his father with Moment of Peace Adventures on a hunt that I'll never forget. And it was the first and last Aiden's Outdoor Adventures that you would ever get to see. And out of nowhere, these bucks show up. When these deer came up, it went to... We were all super serious, and there was this aura over the blind that you could tell. It was something that you can't fathom it sitting here watching it.
Just gonna come out to the open.
Nice shot. Awesome shot, buddy. You got him.
Him. Now you got him.
All right.
Yeah!
Yeah! Awesome.
What do you think, buddy? Tell me what you think.
I think it's a beautiful deer.
He is a beautiful deer.
Crocky, he's a big one.
The Jurassic Park Education Center in Ohio has been helping youth and their families reconnect with the outdoors for over 20 years. Go to Jurassic.com to find out more.
Innerlocs Out There is brought to you by Interlock Broadheads, deadly by design. JD Equipment and Buck Bomb. AMS Bow Fishing, it's in our blood. Optical Dynamics. Martin Archery and Copper John. Kentucky Speedway, and by these proud sponsors.
Because I don't get to see my kids very often and I'm watching them grow up on a cell phone, anytime I can get her out of school to hunt with me, it's like I drop everything and focus on her. She loves to bow fish. She's been chasing these stingrays with me for quite some time, and she wanted to shoot an alligator. Mitch Klein decided, bring her down, she's ready. And Bo and I went down there with Cameron, and it was a life lesson. The first night I was the dad that she didn't want to be. I was very hard on her because we thought she was missing. When we realized it was some equipment failure on my behalf, she made it happen, and she shot her first alligator, and it was something I'll never forget. Cameron's adrenaline is up. I'm fired up. Mitch is ready to go. Bo is ready to go. We are going to make this happen. Our morale's up, and it's a completely clean slate. We go right out there to the same spot where she had missed a couple of the gators before, and there's this 6-footer just cruising along. Cameron looked at me and said, Daddy, I want to shoot it. I looked at Mitch and said, I know it's not what we came out here for, but she's happy with this. Mitch said, make it happen. Send it.
You got it. Cammy got an alligator. You got an alligator, Cammy.
When we left the alligator hunt, we went directly to Kansas. The school hated me, but she gets great grades. She's a good student, and she's rewarded by getting to go on these trips and these opportunities. Jesse Dunlap in Kansas, who's one of my best friends, and I've got to thank for all he's done for us, left us come out there and hunt a whitetail. Her reaction when she shot this deer is definitely a memory that will always be closest to my heart, because it told me right then and there that she loves the outdoors and she loves to hunt, and she knows that all that hard work, when it finally pays off, it's well worth it.
Got him.
Oh my God.
He's done.
When she shot, I can't tell you how happy I was. I think you can tell by that reaction that we were all super happy.
You did it, baby girl.
Look at that buck.
It's a 7-pointer, and then there's a point coming after that.
Well, following that hunt, she was getting a little cocky. She was hitting everything she was aiming at now, and she learned a big lesson in Ohio. We went out there with the whole family over New Year's, and it was cool getting to be with my wife and my son Brody and my daughter with our friend Kurt and Ed Fell from the Blind Turtle. They also are a huge part of the show and provide us so many opportunities, but she came up just a little short. But what Brody says when we went out to find the bolt was something I'll never forget.
Brody, this is exactly where I shot and missed.
We grabbed Brody and sent him out there to look for that Luminox.
Missed it right here on the big pile of sand. Brody, look for a Luminox.
The funniest thing I've heard in years was Brody saying, "Hey, Cammy, you missed it."
Missed it. But I had fun. Better luck next time, sissy. Thanks.
This portion of Innerlocs Out There is brought to you by Outdoor Edge. And now for this week's Buck Bomb Quick Tip.
Hog bomb can work extremely well for hogs, especially in Texas. It's a great way to lure in those big boars close enough for you to get a shot. Sour heat's one of my favorites, and the fruit punch, not only does it smell good, but it acts as a great cover scent. I fly to Arkansas earlier this year to do a photo shoot and some videos. And while we're filming and doing some photos, we had a strange visitor hanging around the set. That's right, I can call sheep. I guess I'm the sheep whisperer. I know the guys at Red Shutter really enjoyed that. It was kind of a pain in the butt though. Every time we turned around, he'd come in and come out, but we had a lot of fun that day shooting. The guys at Red Shutter always bring the morale up. There are days I don't feel like doing these stand-ups or doing some things, but these guys are awesome and making me laugh. They jump in front of the camera when they're not supposed to and kind of mimic me, and I think that's funny. And on the job site, that really brings the morale up and makes the day go a lot faster.
But let me tell you something. If you want to have a lot of fun, go to Texas. Take your Umarex, take your 300 Win Mag, take your AR, take your shotgun with buckshot. You can shoot everything
And make
out
sure
of
you
the truck.
take me.
Yeah, and definitely take Corey, because you're going to have the hunt of a lifetime. And believe me, you won't forget any of it.
Next year, it's going to be Bo and I's TV show. We're just practicing. Bo, I did pretty good.
You know, I've known Corey for about 10 years, and if there's one thing I can say about Corey is he's dedicated to the outdoors and all of his sponsors. One thing about Corey is that he is a killer. Everywhere he goes, everywhere he seems to hunt, he kills something. But yet, he still continues to take care of all of his sponsors. One thing about the outdoor industry is that sponsors make it all happen. If you don't have good sponsors, then, you know, they don't, your bills don't get paid. And like I said, Corey, he takes care of everybody, whether it's the production company that he works with at Red Shutter or his sponsors. So I've got like 3 more hats that I have to go through here with Corey. But Corey, you know, over the years has remained a good friend, and he always will be. Even though he tends to kill a lot of animals, and I wonder about some of the animals that he kills, because he has killed a couple world records this year. And I think I've yet to be invited to Delaware.
One of the funniest hunts that we aired this season has to be Ed Fell. Ed, I swear he's got a horseshoe somewhere on him at all times. He's got the best luck out of all my all-stars and always finds a way to get the job done and does a good job at that. He was hunting a triple advantage food plot there in Ohio with an old school gun. It was a brand new cartridge that they allowed to be used in Ohio, and he was excited to take this gun out. And he looks down and he has a dead battery. So he knew not to film a whole lot of stuff, but he filmed just enough. But it wasn't the footage that made this so funny. I think it was the 1, 2, 3 shots.
Bet.
Funky rack. He had to have bent that in velvet.
Well, Ed and Kirk, thank you guys for all you do for Innerlocs Out There. You always bring so much enthusiasm and fun and some really good footage and some great stories to Innerlocs Out There, and I definitely couldn't do it without you and the comforts of the blind turtle. Well, this year, we decided to do a competition with our friends from Umarex, shooting rats. So our friends at Umarex decided to throw a little competition together with our friends out in Kansas, shooting pack rats. We brought in some other TV hosts, and we brought in a lot of friends, and we made a very, very good show out of some pack rats. 0 shot 1 right.
There he is, right there. Shoot that.
Hold on.
Yeah! Right there, right one. On the tree, that's a good
Look at him go! No. Hey! Woo! 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 Woo!
He stopped on
Right behind the shoulder.
it. Good rat.
Put one in him. Right there.
Oh, God. It's not.
Goes again. Let him out. There you go. There you go.
Here he's coming right at you, Jeremy. There he goes. There he goes. He went in that nest.
Yeah.
Yeah, rule the woods, baby. Rat wars.
Innerlocs Out There is brought to you by Interlock Broadheads, deadly by design. Umarex Air Guns, evade scent elimination from doxed and blind turtle. Moonshine Camo. Axion Optic Solutions. Excalibur Crossbows and Burt Coyote's Luminot. Light 'em up. Bristol Motor Speedway, and by these proud sponsors.
Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you all for supporting Cammy's Corner, and I also wanted to thank Innerlocs Air for powering Cammy's Corner this season.
Congratulations to all 12 of our Cammy's Corner photo contest winners this season. Our overall grand prize winner for this season is Caitlin Trent. She's won an Umarex Octane Elite.
Finally, we get to talk about me. I think Toby Keith made a song. If we could afford to use his music, it would play right now. I'm Corey Brossman. I'm the bow fishing guru, and I approve this message.
He's coming. He's got a butterfly on and needs help. We're on a mission. Got him. Pretty exciting. Finally got a butterfly.
Guys, I love the bowfish. It's not an industry secret. In fact, I can feel my body shivering when I talk about bow fishing. It was funny 10 years ago when you watched outdoor television, you might see one or two TV shows bring you bow fishing just because they needed to throw a show together, and that was the easiest thing to do. We started with like 6 episodes the first 2 or 3 years because that was my passion. And AMS Bow Fishing and Interlock make great products, safe products. So it was always good for me to hang out with those guys, learn a lot, and then bring it to you on television and help the sport grow. Well, this past year with our friends from Moonshine Camo, we shot 2 giant butterfly rays on film. One of the memories that I'll never forget.
We're on a mission. He's got a butterfly on and needs help. He only got one bow. They were scouting, and he scouted himself a butterfly. Yes, good job, everybody.
Oh my
You finally
gosh.
did
Finally
it.
got a butterfly. Finally.
Right there he is.
Here.
Right, to the right,
I'm in it. You gotta get one in him, Brett. Here.
Shoot, Brett.
Ready.
Right there, Brooks. You did it, brother. Yeah.
Don't let the bow fishing tattoos and the name fool you. I still love to be in the outdoors. I love being out there, and I love chasing whitetails. In season 10, I had by far one of my best seasons chasing whitetails. Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky. had a great time everywhere that I went. And I got to share that with some new friends too, like Joey Gase, Xfinity and Cup driver, shooting his first deer. So the whitetails is what kind of brings everything together, because that's really what you guys want to see, and we know that. And we feel like we can bring it to you as good as anybody else. Sure, I may not be shooting consistently 150s, but this year I did get to shoot a 150-inch buck down there at Kentucky Speedway, thanks to my friend Jeremy Bledsoe. He's still down there. He's right there.
Look there, boys. Right there's a deer.
What?
Right here's the deer.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Kentucky Speedway, for your hospitality, your love and support for Innerlocs Out There. It means a lot. If you haven't figured out by now what Innerlocs Out There TV really is about, I think you're missing something. It's not about me. I'm not out there trying to sign every autograph. I'm not trying to be on every catalog. I'm not trying to be in every magazine. What I'm trying to do in life is build relationships and give back. How many 160s can you really shoot in 1 year? How many kids can you make smile in 1 year? That's what we're about. We're about taking friends out like Barry and Mike and showing them a good time. We're about taking sponsors out and bringing them and making them more involved with OutThere. But for me, I'd sooner go out and watch my daughter shoot a 4-pointer, or I'd sooner just go out and sit by a tree and enjoy a sunrise. I think you guys would agree that's what it's all about. It's not about the size. It shouldn't be about the size. Certainly not the inches. It's about the memories made. That's what Innerlocs Out There is about. And in the next 10 seasons, that's what it's going to continue to be about.